Silent Hill is an upcoming soft reboot of the Silent Hill video game franchise. The exact development is not confirmed, but it is said to be developed by a Japanese studio, and it is likely that Sony will publish the title as a PlayStation 5 exclusive with the support of Konami. The rumors and leaks around the title have circulated around the internet throughout 2020, so let's break down the release, development, and gameplay rumors we have all heard so far. As always, all the sources will be linked in the description below, so make sure to check those out and support those original writers. And with that out of the way, let's get into everything we know about the Silent Hill reboot for PS5. I wanted to start this video by quickly saying this video will not be discussing the rumors around Silent Hills, or as most fans know, the game that PT was meant to tease. If you have only casually been following the Silent Hill news, there have been rumors about Silent Hills that are often paralleled with the rumors of the reboot itself, that these two projects are in development simultaneously, or at least discussions were happening simultaneously, but that's out of the scope of this video and could be a whole other video just covering the Silent Hills rumors. So just for a quick recap of the Silent Hills rumors, there were rumors that Sony was bringing together Konami and Kojima to potentially bring back Silent Hills at one point, but the discussions fell through for whatever reason, and instead Sony and Konami decided to shift to a full reboot instead. There's more rumors out there, and if you guys want, that could be a whole separate video. Moving on, the first rumor started in January of 2020 with notable insider Duscalum, who has been credited multiple times on this channel and is a known gaming insider who has a pretty good track record with information. He stated that 2 new Silent Hill games were in the works, and that 2 years ago Konami started to reach out to studios to work on these projects. One of the games was going to be a soft reboot of the franchise, and the other was going to be an episodic Telltale/Until Dawn style game. And Duscalum was guessing that one or both of the titles could be revealed sometime in 2020. The rumors continued on in March of 2020. Duscalum returned to Twitter once again and elaborated on what he's heard. He heard that one of the developers that was contacted with the idea of a Silent Hill episodic game was Supermassive Games, who is mostly known for Until Dawn, and it would make sense that Konami would reach out if they were going for this style of game. Until Dawn was very well received, and they would definitely know how to do it just set in the Silent Hill world. Unfortunately, the deal did not work out, but Konami did find studios for the projects, allegedly. And Duscalum closes out by saying that more recently he heard that another new Silent Hill game started development in 2019, and Masahiro Ito was returning to work on the game, who was the art director for Silent Hill 2 and 3. He also worked as a monster designer on the original, and closes by saying it's a unique situation for Sony to fund IPs they don't own, but he can confirm that Sony did not buy the Silent Hill IP and is just using it in collaboration with Konami. And the leak closes out by saying that Toyama, who was the game director of the original Silent Hill, and Akira Yamaoka is returning as the composer. At this point, real rumors and staff were starting to be teased and rumored for the Silent Hill reboot, and it seems like whatever the second project was that Konami was trying to get off the ground really never became anything, and instead they were going down this route and were bringing back a lot of the original team members from past Silent Hill games. Another publication, Rely on Horror, was able to verify with their sources that Ito was returning to work on a Silent Hill reboot, and they could also verify that Sony is the driving force behind the return of the franchise. They also speculated that this return will be a PlayStation 5 exclusive, and that's why Sony was pushing this so hard, because they want the exclusivity and aren't doing it out of the goodness of their hearts. Now, Rely on Horror goes a step further and say that SIE Japan Studio is involved, but they weren't sure whether that is for the complete development, if they are the sole developer, or if they are assisting some other development studios in their work on it. They just don't know, but they have heard that SIE Japan is involved in some form or another, which is Sony's internal Japan studio. They also say that this is the only Silent Hill title actively being worked on at this time, which is kind of what I said before, that the episodic idea fell through, and they must have just decided to only move forward with the reboot. Now, Rely on Horror actually followed up on their original article by reaching out to Konami for clarification on the rumors and speculation within the community about all these team members returning to work on a reboot, and if the episodic one was completely cancelled, and even some of the Silent Hills reboot, just to see kind of what was happening and if Konami would say anything. And Konami responded to the rumors saying they, quote, "are not true. We are aware of all the rumors and reports, but can confirm they are not true. I know it's not the answer your fans may want to hear." And they went on to say, "We are not completely closing the door on the franchise, just not in the way it's being reported." Now, Rely on Horror sent a follow-up email for clarification on if all the rumors were false or what rumors they were directly referencing, because at this point there are multiple games, multiple people, and multiple things happening seemingly in the Silent Hill universe, and it doesn't sound like they're giving up on the franchise, so they just wanted to get more clarification, but they never received a follow-up email with any more specific details on which rumors they were specifically saying were false. Then, in May of 2020, Duscalum made another smaller thread on the Silent Hill remake, which includes much of the same information we've already covered, but gives a few additional details that he said he was not able to confirm 100% with his sources, but are going to give it to people to kind of decide for themselves. So he says clearly this game is not a remake and is instead a soft reboot, so it could potentially be someone's first Silent Hill game. And he also says at this time the game is playable in May of 2020 and that a demo has been created that will be shown off after the reveal event. So once again, these pieces of information he says are not 100% sure, but sources were claiming it, he just couldn't verify. Then in some smaller news, some fans tied to the return of Silent Hill sometime this year is the creation of an official Silent Hill Twitter account. I know they did have a Japan Silent Hill account, but they really don't use that one, and it seems like this will be the main account they will use. And it was created in July of 2020 and was verified shortly after. And this could be a big marketing tool if a new game is coming out soon. And one other thing that happened in July is Duscalum reiterated that if the rumors are to be believed, that a 2020 reveal is highly likely considering how far in development the team is and how smooth development is going. But the exact time frame of a reveal is unclear. And for the most part, throughout the rest of 2020, most insiders work with each other and put together an exact timeline and figure out what is known about the game, which all sources have said is more difficult than normal leaks or insider information because Sony is keeping the game as private as possible, and most sources they have at Sony aren't even sure what studio is working on the project. But all sources can confirm that a Silent Hill soft reboot has been in development for around 2 years. A mystery Japan studio is working on the reboot with the support of Sony and Konami, and at one point was potentially known as Project Zero. Many members of the team are past developers who are known for the Silent Hill franchise, and it's assumed that Sony will publish and release the game for the PS5 as an exclusive, and Konami will obtain 8% of the revenue. And that from what we know, development is moving smoothly and should release in 2021 or early 2022. And there's really clear timelines, so I'll link down below if you guys want to read it for yourself, but that's basically the consolidated points of what everyone can agree on. And at least some of the rumors seem to be confirmed by Imran Khan, who is a co-host at Kinda Funny and previously was the senior editor at Game Informer, so he's very well connected in the gaming industry, and he said that he thinks the rumors are credible, and said people who are rumored to be involved in Silent Hill are working on some mystery project, which seems to tie together a lot of different people, a lot of different sources, and a lot of people who are very well connected in the industry all saying the same things. And other than this information, everything else about the project seemed to run dry and there was no other new news. That was until we get to the rumors around the Game Awards reveal. So it seemed like no more leaks were going to be revealed for the game until the game was officially showed off, but that actually wasn't the case and led to a big batch of rumors around the Game Awards. So it started with Roberto Serrano, who has a mixed track record with some insider information, but he announced that at the 2020 Game Awards, Konami and Sony are going to give the world reveal of the next Silent Hill game, which is this reboot. And he created an unofficial image for this announcement. And then more and more insiders came out to discuss the rumors. Catharsis, who has been one of the main voices around the Silent Hill rumors and leaks, responded to one community member who asked about the Game Awards leak and said, quote, I would expect something if I were you. I think it's better not to wait until 2021. I'm not saying we will have something during the Game Awards, just that I expect something. And the rumor was also backed up by Rely on Horror, who said they had heard from their sources earlier in the year that a Game Awards reveal was possible, but they couldn't verify the information, so they never moved forward with an article on the details or any of the leaks. And they emphasized that the game is coming out, but just no one really knows when. And one story I didn't cover is some insiders had thought the game would be shown at the PS5 reveal event in June, which obviously didn't end up happening. So a lot of these insiders don't get everything right, and it's better to not expect anything but remain optimistic whenever they think that we might get a reveal or release date. So they have been wrong before with the PS5 event, but it's looking more and more likely like a Game Awards reveal could be possible. So what should we all expect for the Silent Hill reboot moving into 2021 and beyond? I think a Game Awards reveal is not out of the question and seems like the best time to announce this game. If the game was in a playable state earlier in the year, it's only a matter of time until Sony and Konami are ready to announce the project and move forward with a release. I've heard some rumors and speculation that Silent Hill is really working through when they should release and reveal, and they're being very careful about it because they want to avoid competing with Resident Evil Village, which is a big possibility, considering the two games are often confused in general audiences' minds, and it could confuse a lot of those casual fans if they only want to purchase one horror game, and Resident Evil and Silent Hill are released too close together. So yes, I would for sure expect the game reveal and release all within the next year or two, and we will potentially get a demo for it as well. And for the most part, that is everything we know about the Silent Hill reboot. As always, make sure to like and share this video, subscribe for weekly gaming news, and I will see you guys in the next one.